Guru Nation, what is up? Welcome back to another episode. If you're watching, like, subscribe, comment, share. If you're listening, do the same. We got Huma Hurum. I met this person. She's a dermatologist. She's in Canada. She's a coordinator, or what is your role at your site, Homa?
Yeah, hi Dan, and nice to meet you in Dallas and here as well. And thank you very much for having me today. It's really a pleasure. Yeah, I'm working actually in versatile domains. I started the work as a coordinator and now heading towards the director of medical affairs
There you
in this
go.
trial network. Yeah. So yeah, you can first start and then I can introduce myself. Yeah.
Director of Medical Affairs, and you're a dermatologist. You told me, "Hey, I'm a dermatologist, um, international medical graduate." So, where did you immigrate from? To Canada?
Yeah, I'm basically from Pakistan. I did my medical school
Okay.
from there. Yeah, but I just did my medical school, nothing else there. I was working throughout in different jurisdictions. So after that, I moved to Malaysia, Singapore. I started my
Hmm.
work actually there. Uh, and starting from that Far East area, did my venereology courses from and aesthetic courses from Thailand. Worked in Singapore with National Skin Center and Malaysia as well for the Ministry of Health there. Then I did my master's from UK at Field, Hertfordshire. Also, I did my European board from Germany, so 2 years there.
Wow.
And I did my fellowship in contact dermatitis and some different domains of dermatology from Melbourne, Australia.
Wow. You've
So,
been all over
yeah,
all over the place.
all over the place almost, and working in the Middle East before moving to Canada for 10 years as a faculty member and doing the research in different way because I was like a principal investigator in university hospital.
That's
So that was
awesome.
really a different domain, different area of work as a clinical researcher. But after moving to Canada for 5 years back, I started the clinical trial unit with few dermatologists here in Ontario. And that was like primitive sites, like naive researchers. And I think like, okay, I have this, the power to start the research. And I didn't know at that time that the pharmaceutical clinical trials is a different research. It's not the same which I was doing,
Mhm.
before moving here. So, but I just took it as a challenge. I said, okay, why not? We can try, we can learn. So I started that, and when then the pandemic hit and everything went slow, so I got a chance to do my exams here because I was thinking like not to work hard at this point. I already did my residency in dermatology and everything before, so many postgraduate educational stuff. So I was not really willing to do that. But when pandemic hit, I thought, okay, I have a time. So I passed my exams, everything did. But getting into the residency program is really tough here in Canada. It's very competitive, especially in the dermatology. It's just one seat all over the Canada. So I was keep on working in the in research, and then I joined this family physician site. It's a mega site working for 20 years in research. This general practitioner, and
How did you
so
find
one
this
and
person?
a by luck.
Hmm.
I was just I missed that interview. I applied through Indeed. I missed that interview, and then I just gave a cold call, to the clinic. I thought like, oh, maybe that position is still unfilled. It
Oh,
was a research coordinator.
you missed your interview with them.
Yeah, because
Wow.
I was working in different domains at that time. I'm working as an aesthetic consultant too, just to keep myself intact with the dermatology. So I'm like setting up the aesthetic businesses for different GPs all over the GDA, and I'm running clinical research and aesthetic diploma in a community college as well. So working in different areas and startup management as well for different derm sites with another big SMO here in Ontario, which is mainly managing actually the dermatology trials. So I'm working with
Wow.
them as well. So just to keep myself, alive in my passion, that I don't want to lose my derm skills.
Well, that's the
So
beauty of research, no, is that you can stay
yeah,
active. I mean, I'm not a clinician. I never even went to med school. I wanted to, never got in, but I'm involved in medicine and talking with doctors about stuff. Like they don't even know some of these things. So it's pretty amazing
exactly.
industry. And you know how
Yeah,
many IMGs, international medical graduates,
yeah,
message me on a
yeah,
weekly basis, or pharmacists or just IMG, like highly educated people that immigrate and they're lost. They say, well, what can I do? I mean, I want to do CRA. And
yeah,
I say, well, you can, but you need to go. Your best bet is to go to a site first, like you did.
exactly. Yeah. I agree with you. So starting with the small site definitely is getting your feet wet in the field, is that the first thing. But then you have to be very proactive in those things because nobody comes to you. You have to go to them and explore the options, and you have to kind of, selling your skills or proving yourself that, oh, you can do something for them because nobody trusts the new people here. And I mean,
Hmm.
that's like human mentality. That's not anything to blame, but uh, nobody knows me, right? So I have to go and tell them that, yeah, I can do something for you, and you have to prove yourself in first few initial months, that yeah, you're capable of doing something for them, which can be productive. So like, yeah, so I started my journey like 1.5 years ago with this doctor who's a McMaster professor as well. So I'm so privileged and honored that I got this opportunity, which I almost missed. Yeah, and then I just
Almost.
almost, yeah, I missed that interview because I was busy in some doing aesthetic procedures, perhaps in
But
some
did you
clinics,
tell
and
them? Did you tell them that I'm not gonna
yeah,
make it? Or did you just
yeah.
not show up?
No, I just missed that the interview call, and then I mean after
Oh, I see.
3.5 hours, I just saw, oh, okay, I just missed something, so I
No,
just
we
gave a
had we
call
had
to
a
the
few people apply to our site when we recently hired someone, and I had like 3 or 4 people no show, didn't say anything, just didn't show up. And then a month
yeah,
later, they're emailing me like, "Hey, is the job still open?" And I'm like, "Well, you didn't even
yeah.
tell me that you missed your interview."
Yeah, I know this is not a good attitude. So I was also thinking the same way. Oh my gosh, what I did, and so I cannot make it now. So I just tried my luck, and it was actually near my home as well. So I just gave them a call that, sorry, I missed that, and is it possible that I just come and walk in? And they said, I mean, it's not a good attitude that you miss something and then you were like, after that. But I mean, I was actually quite early in that, in approaching them.
Hmm.
So they said, okay, come on, maybe like my luck. And when I came in, the girl was leaving actually in 5 days, and I said, okay, I can join today. So I
Wow.
joined them, and I also left after 8 days because I had a road trip planned across the Canada. So so
Yeah.
it was critical time, but they gave me this opportunity. They said, "Okay, just join and see."
Do
And
you think it
I
was to
joined.
your advantage that you were an international medical graduate?
100% because it was like, I know the terminology, I know like, and then when you're in the medical field, definitely. I mean, I'm not saying that other people cannot, but being in the medical field, I think you are prone to
Of
develop those
course.
skills.
Of course.
Yeah, that give you the time management and work under stress. So that's like main thing in the coordinator thing in the
Yeah.
clinical research. Like it's so stressful because you have to meet the deadlines, you have to meet the timelines for different projects at the same time. So it's
And
right critical.
when I met you in Dallas, you were so passionate about what you do. I can tell even from like 10 seconds of talking with you. So I was
Yeah.
thinking, well, we gotta get you on the podcast one of these days. Where did you get that from? You just from day one, you have that like in you, or it took you a
uh,
while to learn research? You were a PI before, but I guess research kind of developed gradually for you over time, like you're.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. This is not the research, as I told you, that was I was doing before. That's
Hmm.
totally different, 100%. And clinical trials is different. I was reading the research in the labs. like
Mm.
the melanocyte lab, and I was doing the research for the quantitative and qualitative
I see.
surveys, which is
The bench
very different
research.
from the trial.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yes, bench research
Hmm.
mostly, and because the university, I mean, at the university level, that's a different thing. And when you're teaching faculty, you have to run different kind of things. But anyways, but this is like a different kind of area for me. But I learned everything, and within 6 months, they promoted me to clinical research lead. So I was leading many trials. I was doing the regulatory startups and everything, like from A to Z, because the small sites, they don't have the different departments to do individual work. So one person is all in one, right? I mean, not all sites, but mostly the community research sites are like that, which is, I think, wrong and right at the same time. Right, because you're going to learn everything about a trial, from A
Right.
to Z, everything. So like IRB submissions and other stuff, how to manage, how to scheduling. So it's a big thing to learn. And because now our site is actually expanding, and they made a big trial network, getting more investigators on board. It's a kind of SMO, but with uh, different type of things we are doing, because we are not managing the sites at this point, probably in the future, but this time we are taking the investigators on board. So I got this position now, the director of medical affairs, because my role is now mostly dealing with the doctors and to get them to tell them, because it's mostly the naive researchers who never did any research, as you said, that they have no idea what the
Hmm.
clinical trial is and how to run that. And definitely it's a very tedious work if they do, I mean, just on their own. So we are here to help them that how to run the trial, and we do all the regulatory work, all the administrative work for them by using our resources.
Do
So they
you
have to,
do you in your role, are you involved also in managing staff or
yeah,
yes? So
yes.
okay. And how's that going for you? It's pretty challenging from my end. Uh,
Oh,
training, retaining. I don't know how competitive Canada is if you guys lose the CRCs to CROs, but it's always a threat.
yeah. That's right. It's a high turnover. It's very difficult to train first,
Hmm.
to get them, because nobody had experience, right? So
Yeah,
mostly the people are coming, like, even if the IMG, they have no idea what the clinical trial is about
yeah.
and how to run that, and not every person can meet that, the stress management things,
Are they mostly
can manage.
IMGs? Like your employees that you manage, or are
No,
they?
no, not really. We have, like, from different backgrounds, biotechnology, bachelor's, local bachelor students, and PhDs even. Like one
Wow,
person is PhD from UK, and he's a CRC, and he's doing pretty well. He's now like promoted to the site administrator. So
wow.
um, yeah, so really, like, I feel sometimes that the people are having very good skills, very good educational background, excellent background, and so this job, I think, is good for anyone who can bear the stress, who can manage that
That's
things, like,
amazing.
yeah. So
But you
yeah,
went
I
from a doctor, so you're a trained doctor, and now you're managing coordinators and working with other doctors. So it's like such a interesting skill set that anyone who works in this industry long enough, I mean, you get into, and you even talked so much about diversity and recruitment. So you
oh yeah.
probably have a skill set there when it comes to, can you break down like how you guys recruit patients at your site?
Yeah, so that's very interesting, because definitely my PI is not from ethnic group. He's a white Caucasian, so definitely the patients are coming from that group as well, because that's how the things work, right? The provider does matter. But that's the interesting thing about expanding this network. while we are expanding, we are taking more investigators on board from different ethnicities. So that I think that is working very well now from the last 2, 3 months because they are bringing their patients and their patients are from different diverse groups. So now we are like we see this drastic change for the last few months that okay now we are having different population. It's very difficult to address that the clinical diversity in trials because it's not that just to recruit the patients. It's like how to recruit them and how to educate them. That's the main thing because I mean different communities have different perspective about the trials and probably the white people are more open to that they don't have like second question about the research but like for our community for ethnic minorities or different groups they have no idea they have no awareness about that so I'm actually working with the N2 networks group as well volunteering in different community engagement programs in events just to raise the awareness in the community that okay the trials are the something which you can get in and you can get the healthcare access which you otherwise cannot
Right.
so we
Do
were
you
targeting like
remember, do you do you remember the at our meeting, okay, they had a panel on recruitment and retention,
yeah
and they didn't have any coordinators on the panel. And then one
exactly
doctor,
yeah
one doctor actually said, "Hey, you're doing a disservice by not having a coordinator on here." And the sponsors were like kind of taken aback by this comment. But
yeah
like
I know
what do you think
funny
about
yeah
this kind of attitude? Because sponsors I think have good intentions, but I don't know why they can't see
yeah
the like practicality of including coordinators in these discussions.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the mindset as well in the trial area that they think that the CRC is just the working people. They don't have
Mm.
any, insight about the trial, or they don't have anything to say about that. But
They're not smart
I mean,
enough, maybe.
they're not smart enough, probably, or they just come here to work on the trials. They just want to do study visits, and that's it. I mean,
Wow.
I don't disagree much with them because I see personally when I train the people, I see that, okay, yeah, you come across with the people who really don't care about like how you explore this area or how you learn more things, right? They just say, okay, just do your work, get your money at the end of the day and go back home. So they don't want to learn more. So
Wow.
they really depend on the attitude. Like for me, from the day one, I really want to learn the different things. Okay, what the trial is. And now that's the reason I'm in this position now. And I'm working on the community groups. I'm working with the OSSU, which is the Ontario Support Unit, and they are actually running pretty good events to raise this education and awareness, but they are not working in the community research sites. They're working in the hospitals, right? Because
Mm.
they are getting the good funding. So another issue is the funding as well. The people don't want to work like the big stakeholders, the policy holders, they don't want to work with the community research sites. They want to work with the hospital sites because they know that, oh, you are going to get the big funding for that trials, for those projects. So at the end, everyone is having their own interest in everything. But the thing is that I was telling them as well at that time, I was attending a one event by OSSU last month in Toronto, and I was telling the main stakeholders that you have to involve the community research sites if you really want to propagate this awareness in the community. This is not something like nobody can access to the main hospitals, right? The communities are living outreach far away from the main hospitals. So it's like bullshit if you're telling them, okay, go to the hospital and get, your HS or eczema trial. They cannot go there. They have no, access to those cities. So you have to establish your sites in different areas. That's what, like, I'm
Yes.
actually proposing to our trial network as well. But that's, of course, that's one thing to do things to do the thing list, but it's quite far from now at this point, really, uh, so
But
we
do you
had the
take
trial in,
ownership of your study? Like the way it works at your site, do you because you're like more of a director now, or you're working on becoming a director, but it sounds like you have some kind of leadership and authority there. Do you take ownership of these trials, or is it still like a group decision of what you're gonna do? Like, let's say you found a location and a new provider in an underserved area. Are you able to suggest, hey, why don't we open a site
Yeah,
there? Or
yeah, yeah. I'm lucky enough to get that. My team is very good and very supportive. So, and then I think Dan, it's mostly like give and take, things as well. Like if I'm enthusiastic in doing my work and giving them some productivity, they also give me some, leadership skills, and they also give me this authority to decide. So what we are doing now, like for example, I'm having a trial in the pediatric population. So I reach my community physicians and see like which person is interested in doing that. So get them on board and see like if they can bring their patients in that trial. And then the pediatric trial, like if they want like diverse population. So I definitely go to the different area where I can see that, okay, that guy, the Arab guy or the Pakistani guy or Indian guy, they can bring more patients from their community. So I just reach them and get them on board. So
gotcha, gotcha.
yeah, so something like that. So this
So
is
you're
like
like
I
a
have this authority.
intrapreneur. You're like an intrapreneur. It's like a inside you're an employee, but you are given the freedom to act like an entrepreneur, which is
Yeah, yeah, luckily, yeah.
that's amazing. What advice do you
So
have for people out there though? Like let's say particularly in Canada, but really anywhere, international medical graduate moves to a new country. Let's go specifically Canada because that's what you we have enough of an audience from there. Like, what should they do? Most of them come and are like dejected. Most feel like everybody would want to hire them because they're a doctor, and then they realize that that's not true.
mm-mm,
What, we had a IMG apply when I in this latest round of hires, and we didn't hire him. We hired the phlebotomist. We didn't hire him. There's a number of reasons, but attitude was one of them probably. But
100%. Yeah.
what is your advice? Like, because we have to like wake these people up, I think.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm actually mentoring the IMG groups as well in Canada for different reasons. Like I'm mentoring for their exams as well, for their research as well, for other alternative careers as well. Like if they want to explore the different fields, if they're willing to learn. So I come across with different IMGs with different, the mindsets. So I think the attitude, which you also mentioned, is the number one thing. Like attitude to learn more, to explore yourself is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think anywhere in the world, like if you don't have enough passion to learn, you can't go further. You can't go beyond that. So nobody can come to your home and teach you. You have to go and explore kind of things like, okay, what you want, what is good fit for you, and where you will be a good fit. So there's no harm in trying different areas, but then you have to know, kind of like you have to know your strengths and abilities, right? If I come in the research, I know that, okay, I know some background, although I don't know the pharmaceutical sponsored trials, but maybe I can learn something one day. And I learned within a week because we were the first number one recruiters in the 1 month for that site when I started that 5 years ago when I just landed in this in Canada. So that's like the kind of things like you have to learn. You have to kind of give your time that what is good for you. But definitely, like you are right that not every person is right for this research. Like people are asking me even that should we do masters? Should we do clinical research diplomas?
Always get this
Believe me,
question. Oh my
nothing can
gosh.
work. Yeah, I would say nothing can work. Nothing.
Do you
I
know why
know many
people do
people.
that? I think I've discovered, and maybe tell me if I'm right or what you think. When people start saying that, oh, I'm gonna get a master's or I'm gonna get a PhD, like it's always it because they don't want to go to the site and talk and network and do it again and face rejection and do it again and face rejection until they finally get somebody that says yes. To them, it's easier to go in debt and get a master's or a PhD, but then they're in the same situation when they're done. They're just in more debt.
Exactly. It will not lead them to any job. So that's like really, we have no answers for that. But I don't want to discourage the people that, oh, don't progress with your education. But definitely it's not going to work in that way without networking or without exploring yourself or the field itself.
Yeah.
So
Your master's is not like
networking,
a magic, like
no.
when you get a master's, it's not like a magic potion that
I
makes you
have like I
hireable.
did the hiring a month ago. We were our CRC was leaving, and we hired another CRC in her place. And believe me, in 2 days we had this 575 applicants for that post. And I was like,
575.
and I was like so overwhelmed. And when I was like skimming through the applications, I found like so funny things like the people who are applying like tour coordinators or like, coordinator in some restaurant. Okay, what are you going to do with the research? So they just see the coordinator and they just apply. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh,
So funny things and like okay, and I
but
came
sometimes
across
those
with
restaurant people can be good.
yeah, they can bring
Wow.
vocations. Yeah.
Yeah. My new coordinator, her mom owns a restaurant. Uh,
Yeah.
and after work, she goes to the mom's restaurant to close to finish.
Mm-hmm.
And the last day she went, she didn't have time to change, so she went with Yuma Clinical Trials shirt. And she
Right.
recruited 5 people that night from customers.
Yeah,
We screened 2 of
that's
them already.
amazing.
Amazing. Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that can work very well. Yeah, community. I was seeing your podcast yesterday one. The girl was telling about the food banks and the
Oh, that lady's
charity.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing things to
Were you on
learn.
there? You were
Really,
on there?
I was just I listened later. Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't there. Yeah. I actually missed that. I was like regretting later on that I should
Ah,
be there.
dang it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but at least you saw the replay. Thank you for the
Yeah,
Latinos
replay.
in
Yeah,
Clinical
that's
Research
really good.
shout
No,
out.
I'm actually your biggest follower because I learned a lot of things from your podcast and from your things your posts. So this is really amazing that people like you are like also contributing in teaching and giving the people perspective that how to do that work. So I have many people who are coming and they have done the community college research diplomas without placement, some online courses, and they're not, they don't know anything about the research. So we need the people who really can work well for those trials, like they can bear the time management things. You know that how it works in the trials. It's not something like the magic that you can learn from some course or some online thing.
Right, right. No,
It's
no.
very
This,
practical.
thank you. That's what we try to do. And apparently we need to keep doing more because
Yeah.
it's not enough. Like people are still out there struggling. There's a new generations now, and so I'm just getting started, and we actually need more people like you and others. Like, thank you for doing your mentoring out there. And IMGs, it's a
Yeah.
huge, everybody go connect right now with Huma. Her LinkedIn is underneath right now. You need to go, like, if you're watching, just click and forget about the video. It's connect with her. And then if you're listening, same thing, click, connect, message. She's very approachable. And maybe you'll run into her at a investigator meeting and then say, hey, you know what? I saw you
Yeah.
on the podcast. Let's go, Uma. Let's go.
Yeah.
'Cause Uma's
It will be a
a
pleasure.
pleasure to be around, and thank you so much
No,
for
it's
your
like,
time.
yeah, I saw that, the funny thing is that like people know you from before. Yeah, like your youth videos, the people were sending me, oh, we know that dance for you. I said, okay, that's great.
Let's go. Let's go. That's good. We need more. We need more because not enough. It's
Yeah,
still, I get asked the
yeah,
same question. We still have people going to master's degree instead of going to sites. We still have people uh trying to be CRA when they have no experience. It's just it's very unlikely, guys. All these things.
Yeah, true. I mean, I come across with many CRAs who are really relatively new in the field and they're giving really hard time. So they
Mm,
don't know the basics of the trials. Uh, so I just tell them that you guys are not monitor. I mean, you're not auditors, you're monitors. So just
mm.
do. So it's like I feel like, oh, my job is like so much versatile. I'm teaching sometimes the CRAs too that, oh no, this thing is not going to work for the site. This is not your hospital. This is not the big, tertiary care hospital where you go and you just run the things like that, and the IRB is different, right? The central IRB, I mean the local IRB, and you have to deal with them differently. So its site is totally different, but site is the main thing, main area where you can start your job, where you can start your networking, where you can start your learning, and from there you can go on where you want to go. Like now with this promotion and everything, I am privileged that I'm getting connected with different CROs, with sponsors. That's my work as well, because I need to get more trials for those investigators who are coming on board, right? So,
Amazing.
and some investigators, they are like, for example, if a cardiologist and she's interested in doing one particular trial, then I have to go with different CROs or
Yeah.
sponsors to look for that trial
Mm-hmm.
for that therapeutic area. Oh, I need that trial. Can we get that? So it's like three-way working with different people at the same time. So networking is very, very important, and
Look at your
LinkedIn is
skill
a very
set.
good.
You're a doctor, okay? You've learned research, you've learned the regulatory, you learned business development, you've learned recruitment, you've learned managing other people, you've learned networking with other physicians. You got all this stuff going on, mentoring, all from like that didn't happen. You're not born with those skills. You develop it
No,
one by
no.
one.
Yeah, I learned with the go. So
Hmm.
whatever is needed, whatever is coming on the way, you have to learn, and that's the beauty of the life, that you don't stop anywhere. That, oh, I'm not any more doctor, so I just cry all day. I mean, the people are doing that, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, honestly, I also do that. Oh no, I have to be a dermatologist, so why I'm
Hmm.
not getting into that? So I'm just aligning my skills. Just go back home, do my derm clinics, come back doing online consultations, doing business aesthetic consultations. So just keeping my those things also alive together with what I can do now in these circumstances.
You
So
know
you
what
kind of
though?
align yourself.
Something else, and I know you gotta go, and we'll everybody go connect with Yuma. But one other thing I wanted to mention and get your thoughts. You have to be open-minded because when you come into this industry, you don't know. I mean, you don't know anything really. Like, so you
Mm-hmm.
think you might know, maybe even to watch my 5 hour video. But even that, the majority don't do that. But even those that do, what are you actually going to learn unless you do it? So you have to come with open mind. You might think, oh, I want to be CRA because you hear
Mm-hmm.
about it's glamorous and you fly and you go to
Yeah.
hotel. But then what happens if you work at a site and they tell you, no, no, like we have this career for you, business development? You're going to be closed-minded and say, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be CRA. Or you want to
Mm-mm.
try something different. If you don't like it, you can always go back to doing the other stuff. And it
True.
sounds like in your career, you tasted a lot of different things. So now you
Yeah.
have a more refined palette for your future.
Yeah, more adaptability is the key. And that's definitely takes you for, I mean, that's the developing the resilience in you, which the people want to see. The good employer definitely want to see the resilience, right? In an employee, in a good employee. I'm privileged to have good
Resilience.
employers. Resilience is the key. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Like we are the first site in Canada who started the DCT. I know it's very common in US, but in Canada we are the first
DCT.
one to start it. Yeah, we are the first one to start, and I'm the first clinical research lead for DCT.
You
So
like
I'm
that stuff?
privileged for that. I honestly I hate it.
I have a good meme today I'm gonna post on LinkedIn about
Really,
DCT. Yeah.
looking forward to it. Actually, I was so enthusiastic when I got this trial, and I said, "Oh, I should be the lead because no one has done in Canada, and one US site is competitor for that trial, and one other Canadian site, and we both haven't started that. They haven't recruited any patient, and I have three patients in a week, and I have like through our digital campaign, we have the 185 leads for that DCT." So I was like thinking, okay, I just slow down myself. I said, no, I don't want to recruit so many patients, like, and then it will be a trouble. Let me see how it goes first. So and there are so many things which you're learning, right? PI has nothing to do with these things. So I'm just telling the people who want to join the research, they have to be very proactive. They have to be a decision maker as well sometimes. It's not like, and then once you show that, oh, you can lead the things, you can do a
Mhm.
lot of things.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Well, no, but this is a great interview. I mean, we're gonna have to do a part two. Maybe I run into you at another investigator meeting. Do you have any coming up? Let me know which ones you do go to.
Actually, they invite the SCRs, the Society of Clinical Research of for sites. They
Hmm.
invited me as a panelist in Lisbon next week.
Wow.
Implementation of DCT in perspective of European legislation, something like that. So they think that I'm the very big thing in DCT. So they want to
Sounds
know my
exciting.
perspective.
You
Yeah,
should
it's
show them
very
my meme.
exciting.
I'll post a meme
Uh,
today. You should see.
I hope that I can make it because I'm actually looking for the sponsor. So let's see if I can get that. I don't know, in terms of this is a lot of things to work on.
Here's my
Like I'm
meme.
working on
I
the,
don't know if you can see it.
no, it's small.
Yeah, and the thing you have to wait for
No.
LinkedIn. I'm gonna post it later. Well,
Yeah,
you
no,
gotta let me know when you're going
your
to the
memes are
next.
always so good.
I hope so. I mean, sometimes they're not, but it's okay. Um,
So this is also something I want to say about CRCs. I don't know about your
yeah.
side, but like even other sides also, I see that CRCs are getting this privilege to attend the IMs, the
Mm,
investigator meetings, but I never see them proactively doing anything, connecting with the people because the main purpose of the IM is to network, to connect with the people, to tell them
right,
that what you are doing and what the other people are doing. So learning from
right,
each other is the main thing, sharing experiences.
right.
So I'm so active in that. I really love that. This is my
Oh
seventh
yeah.
IM in the year.
I saw you at the thing. You came to me, you came to like 100 other people and talking to everybody at the place. It was
Yeah, I
really
like
like
that.
you can tell why you're success and you can tell why some people advance in their career and others don't. Sometimes even just
Mm-mm.
from observing for an hour or 2 hours,
True,
you
true.
can tell.
Yeah, I got like one job offer from US from that IM. The people just want me to
From
come
that
and join them.
investigator meeting?
Yes.
And
It was
what did you say?
no, I cannot go at this point, but like, but it's like it's exciting, right? Like,
You got
oh, okay,
straight
you
up
can
like
do
you got a job
something.
offer, like the PI or who, the site owner?
Yeah, side owner. And they said, like, why
Whoa.
don't you come to join us? So it's like so many amazing things can happen for you guys
Yeah.
if you
Maybe it was
just
my friend
to
Gabby
go.
Marinella.
No. So it's like so it's yeah, this is my seventh actually. I am in a row in a year, and my boss
Wow.
is telling, oh, it seems that you are working here just to attend the IMs. I said, okay, yes,
Maybe.
it is like that. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I still have to do my reimbursements for that. I've been lazy. I have to do that today. I'm
Okay,
probably
yeah,
not
you
gonna
have
do
to
it
do it
today.
quickly.
Yeah, I'm probably
Yeah,
not gonna do it. I
I
upgraded
just
my
sent my
room.
PI.
I bought a expensive dinners, so I know it's gonna be arguments when I send them the reimbursements, but I'll
I
have
didn't
to
do
do it.
anything, but I just sent them. And I actually did three burgers on the way back because I was so hungry. My flight was delayed, and they were telling, Are you sure that you ate the three burgers?" I said, "No, I ate four actually.
You
I
got
didn't feel the
four
fourth
burgers?
one."
Amazing. What are you, carb loading? That's
No, I was
amazing.
just kidding with them. Yeah,
Ah,
because no,
okay.
it was a weird question. Like, "Oh, did you eat the three burgers?" Or someone was
They
just coming.
actually asked you that?
Yeah, I said it's like nonsense. I mean, what kind of ridiculous question you're asking me?
They're
So
gonna
I don't
ask me
know.
about my steak dinner. That thing was like $300.
Okay, yeah, well, for sure. You're not going to get that.
Well,
No,
anyways,
I'm actually very impressed that you guys are doing this, the working on the SOS. conference, and
Save our
I'm
sights. Are you
excited.
coming? I know it's tough from Canada, but are you
I
coming?
should come. I should come.
Yes, yes,
I should raise that to my CEO that we should get the sponsor for that.
yes.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. These guys are, you know, how the sponsorship works, and it's so difficult to get in.
What do you mean? The
So,
just come as an attendee.
yeah, yeah, but we need the the sponsor for traveling and every stuff, right?
I
The
see.
stay.
I see.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
travel and stay. So,
Yeah. That
unless you
could be
want
the
me a
expensive
speaker
part.
there, unless you want me a speaker there, and you can do something. I don't
Panelist.
know.
Let me see. Let me
Panelist.
ask the team because
Yeah,
actually have a call with the team later today. Um, if anyone
yeah.
dropped out, then we might. But yeah, because you're versatile. You can do a lot of panel. That's a thing with you. See, you're not specialized. It's
I'm
whatever.
not specialized.
Probably
Yeah, I'm
talking
not
about
specialized.
all of the stuff. So, all right, Uma, we'll definitely do it. Everybody go
Yeah,
connect with her right
and in
now.
terms of the budget as well, like there's the one. There are so many things to discuss
Oh
in
my
the
gosh.
trials.
You can do
Definitely,
every
yeah.
panel in that case.
Yeah, the budgeting, how to run that. I mean, I'm learning from the people, right? It's not like my inborn skills. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a privileged to have very good team with me. My budget coordinator Rodney, but he's the amazing guy, and I learned these things from him. My PI is amazing, super amazing.
Mm.
The team, the other team with I'm working, even the CRCs, like if they're working with me, I'm learning from them every day. So
Yeah.
it's like if it's your learning attitude who makes you, you know, different
Yeah, I
with
agree.
yeah. So it's like some very small CRC, they come, they're new, and they teach you someday something which you never knew, right? You never know before. So it's like
Mhm.
it's everyday learning process, Dan.
Every
And
day.
I'm thankful to you that you're giving me this opportunity to learn from your podcast and from your posts as well. Very good memes.
Well, likewise, likewise, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna connect with you, especially our Canadian brothers and sisters from Guru Nation that's gonna connect with you and
Sure.
need that mentorship and a lot of IMGs, a lot. So connect with Uma right now on LinkedIn. Thank you so much, Uma. Like,
Thank
subscribe.
you so much, Dan, for having me. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. I can talk for hours, so I know the time is short, but we have
We'll do a
we can
part
catch
two.
up later.
We'll do a part two.
Yeah, part two, three, four, anything.
All of them. Maybe a SOS panel too. Like, subscribe, comment, share, guys. Bye bye.